it up for Joel Bryan. Okay. Everyone hanging in there still?
Yeah.
Awesome. That was awesome. Up next, oh, excellent. Very beautiful human being. Up next, Tara Rose is the host of the Green Goddess podcast, which explores sacred medicine, philosophy, and the evolution of consciousness. She brings a deep love for Pachamama, to her work as an initiated medicine woman, facilitating Kambo frog medicine ceremonies to purify and raise the vibration of consciousness on the planet, and she's really good at it. She is a published author with a BA in philosophy from Rutgers University and an MFA in creative writing from Goucher College. Please welcome to the stage, Tara Rose.
Thank you, Tom, for that introduction. And I'm up here today to talk about what it's like to serve a sacred medicine, meaning to be a facilitator and also to be a servant to this medicine. The medicine that I serve is called Kambo. I also facilitate cannabis, intuitive, transformational healing work. Who here has heard of Kambo? Oh, almost everybody. That's wonderful. So, in case there are some people that don't know, Kambo comes to us from the Amazon rainforest. The legend of the origin of Kambo is that there was a tribe called the Kashinawa, and the tribe was sick. There was a lot of depression, there was a lot of melancholy, and the shaman was trying to figure out, what do I do? So the shaman for this tribe drank ayahuasca and was shown in the ayahuasca visions that there was a tree frog. And this tree frog had a resin on its skin that was curative. And he was shown in the vision that what he needed to do was create superficial burns on the arms of the people in the village, and then put this frog resin, the exudate on the skin of the frog, in the burn. And the people would purge. And they would purge out what was causing all of the maladies. And some call that panema, meaning just funky energy. And this worked. Everybody restored their vitality. Everybody started to feel like themselves again. And the medicine began to be used for other purposes as well, including before hunting, because it heightens your intuitive abilities afterwards. So what's really exciting about this medicine isn't so much the actual process. The actual process is a little bit painful and uncomfortable because it's you should drink 2 liters of water or more, and you get burned, and then you're throwing up, and your heart races, and it can be really uncomfortable. But this is a medicine that changes the waking dream that you live in. Whereas the other types of medicines that we tend to talk about are about the specific journey you go on for that hour or several hours that you're with that medicine. This is a medicine that changes the waking dream for long after you do it. So you may sip this medicine for 20 minutes or an hour, but then your life is going to be forever different. This is an incredible medicine that purges out physical density, emotional density, and spiritual density. It is a clearing medicine. And what it does is it helps us access more of our authentic self, in other words, more of our creator consciousness, what we are inside. And it's traditionally used now before ayahuasca and sometimes before code medicines as well. I first heard about it because an acquaintance began serving it, and I had just decided that I was going for my highest calling. I didn't know what that was. I was working as an herbal educator, taking people on nature walks, teaching people about the wild plants and how to use them for food and medicine. And I was working as a Reiki master and doing intuitive counseling, but I just felt that there was something more. I didn't know what it was. So I decided to give up all the stuff I was doing and just sit still. and create the space. This is a very bold thing to do. I didn't know how my income was going to happen, and I didn't know what was going to come next, but I just said, show me. And what came next was anxiety, major anxiety. And so this acquaintance said, you need this thing called Kambo, and it's going to make you throw up, and then you're going to feel so much better. And I said, that doesn't really sound like what I want to do. I mean, I don't like to throw up. I was like, I don't even think I have thrown up in my whole life. And maybe once when I was a kid, I don't know about this. And she insisted, no, this is exactly what you need to do. So she brought it over, and it was really intense. She burned me, and then she put the medicine on the burns. She sang beautiful medicine songs. I felt my heart racing. It was really intense. But after the process, I felt like my true self. I began to meditate with no anxiety. I started to be who I really felt I was. I started to live up to what I thought I should be doing to begin to manifest, to hold space for what wanted to come through. What was interesting for me was that the answer did not come through for a very long time. Instead, what kept coming through were synchronicities with frogs. I would go for a nature walk, and I would just hear all these frogs singing. So many frogs that it was almost creepy. Or see swarms of frogs. I would open the newspaper, weekly newspaper, and there would be a full page ad, and it would just be a big frog. I visited a friend to give her some intuitive counseling, and she handed me 2 frog crystals. So every time something like this would happen, I would go, okay, I'm being called to receive more Kambo. At a certain point, I was called to release my apartment because I couldn't pay the rent, and I was going to get an eviction notice. And the only place I could move to was my Kambo practitioner's house, because she understood what was happening. She was compassionate, and she's like, you're being called. And there were synchronicities there. So I moved there. I had to sell all of my possessions, everything, because it's a small room, even my favorite plant, to give away. So I thought, something is happening. This is a very deep purification. And each time I would work with the Kambo to receive it, I set the intention to purify the world within me, because I know that each one of us is a microcosm of the macrocosm. And what we are here to do at this time is to restore ourselves back to our innate state of oneness and creative consciousness so that we can direct it in good ways and change the world. And the only way to do that is to clear what's in the way. One of the important ways to do that, I should say, is to clear what's in the way. And that's really what Kambo as a medicine is for. So every time I would come up against repeating negative patterns, or I would see in the mirror of my life experience in the waking dream things that were very, very triggering and intense, I knew that they were bringing up things that needed to be purged out of my physical form. Because energy has different layers of density. It's most dense in the physical, and then the emotional, and then the mental, and then the spiritual. And Kambo works to transmute each of those levels of form. So I went through 33 of these that I was called, and I documented it, and people started to ask me, are you going to serve this medicine? And I said, maybe, but I haven't been called. I've only been called to receive it. And I didn't know what it would mean to be called to serve it. It seemed rational that someone who had received so much of this medicine would be called to share it. But that was only my mind. How would I know if I was actually called to give this medicine to other people? And what would that even mean? So I just sat with that question. And about a year went by. And I started to have this experience where all of a sudden, there was like an alarm bell that went off inside of me. And it was like, clean up your diet. Eat only pure foods. Get your integrity into complete alignment. It was, go to sleep very early. Be very, very good to your body. And begin to prioritize selfless service to others. See, instead of your own needs so much, or your wants and desires, what you can contribute to others in each interaction. This was the intuitive call and the alarm bell that went off. And I thought, this all sounds good, this is also very overwhelming. And so I thought, I need some Kambo to help me. Because Kambo is amazing at clearing that resistance to showing up. And that's what I kept loving about the experience with Kambo, is that after each time I would do it, I no longer had this resistance to doing the things I needed to do, to making the healthy changes, to carrying myself on the level that I really wanted to showing up fully. And I felt so much inner resistance to whatever my higher call was, and it really helped me work through that. So I called up a friend who serves it, and I said, this is how I'm feeling, I need this Kambo, I'm not really sure where to receive it. And she said, you're ready to give it to yourself. I'm going to mail it to you. I said, okay. And so she mailed it to me, and I created my own ceremony. And at the time, there were other practitioners around, but I knew in my heart that I wasn't resonating with any of them for this particular session. It felt important to me to check in, where was I resonating, who was it that felt right. And nobody that I knew felt like that was who it was. But when this wonderful Kambo practitioner said, serve it to yourself, you're ready, that resonated. And so I followed that resonance, and I did. And I realized I can serve this medicine. I had an amazing breakthrough. I totally cleaned up. And then I began to think, what is the reason I want to give this medicine? Is it so that I can feel cool? Is it so that I can know what I'm doing with my life? I had to admit, parts of me wanted that stuff. And I said, that's not the right reason. That's not the right reason to do it. The right reason to do it is because I know what this medicine can do, and I want other people to have it, and I can do it. And that's when I stepped into it. Yeah. And then a friend of mine said, I'm called to move to Florida next week. I want Kambo. Do you know anyone who can give it to me? I said, yeah, me. And she said, I would love you to give it to me. And I gave it to her, and she became my first client, and she's now serving Kambo herself. Yeah. And so I really feel that it's about following your higher calling, following the synchronicities, following your inner resonance. People have said to me, oh, have you gone down to the jungle and has somebody given you a certificate that said that you can serve it? And the answer is no. The frog does. Because anybody that comes to me knows within their resonance, within their heart, that they're meant to receive it from me, or they've received an uncanny synchronicity. There's someone here today, in fact, who the other day said, I'm thinking maybe I should get some Kambo, but I don't know. And I said, well, ask the frog right now, just say out loud, am I meant to have your medicine? If so, make it very clear. Give me a synchronicity. And he said, well, I'm a skeptic though. I don't know what it will look like. How do I know what that would be? Well, he called me yesterday, and he said, I saw a tree frog. I saw a frog in a tree. Another person sent me a text message. It was a photo of 2 tarot cards, an interesting deck. One of them had the frog on it. It said purification. The other card said Tara. You get called. That's how I know. That's how we know. Yeah. And it's been interesting, the level of synchronicity. There's frogs on everywhere you look. You can end up seeing frogs. They'll come to you. They may come in your dream. I had another person. She said, I don't know if I need this or something else. I said, ask. And she asked. And she was woken up in the middle of the night, and she just received verbally, you need Kambo. It will come. These medicines are calling us. And so it's all about following our calling. And once we step into serving, it's not that we are perfect. It's not that we are done with our evolution or with our own medicine, but it's that we are stepping into sharing the gifts that are being given to us. And ultimately, I think that everyone in this room and everyone on this planet can be in service in a way that's just as profound. And that is to recognize that we are creators, that we are here consciously, that what we put into the world through our actions are always rituals, every day and every way. And because we are all one, it starts with the self and what we give to ourselves.
15 minutes.
And so the more medicine work we do, however, the more pronounced our creative capacity and our creative energy becomes. And so we become more and more impactful. I want to share as well that I asked, even after starting to serve Kambo, how can I serve? There's still more I can give. What is it? And so the way I asked, I want to share in case perhaps it resonates with something you might try. I took some mapacho, this is mapacho from the Amazon, and I smoked it, and I blew my prayers into a dream catcher, representing the cosmic web. How can I make the most massive positive impact in this lifetime? I blew it, help, I want to. And I then, every 2 days, was invited to an ayahuasca ceremony. Every 2 days, even by a cashier at the grocery store. Wow. Yeah. And so I attended, and I showed up, and I was shown many things, some of which are very sacred, I'm not ready to fully share. But I was shown to speak, that the medicine is in my voice, and I can speak. And so to show and to start my podcast. And so these medicines call us, and they teach us. We just have to ask, and they'll show up. The answers will always come. How can we say? It will always come. And I want to share that I feel that these psychedelic and sacred medicines really are the true tools of pure creation. One of the things that was shown in that ceremony is that we are ready to be done with karma. We are ready to be done with negative karma, I should say. We are ready to be done suffering and struggling. And these medicines are giving us the tools to become conduits for pure love. Because it's time for true creation. We can't create when we're reacting. That's not creating. True creation comes from conscious awareness and from being a conduit for something greater, for allowing. And this is what these medicines really help us do. And I want to share more about Kambo specifically as well. I want to say I have now done over 50 treatments, received over 50 treatments on myself, both from others and myself. And I want to share what happens when you have done so much Kambo, because most people tend to want to receive 1 to 3 treatments and then kind of let it go unless they're called or they have an illness. This medicine is pure magic. My life is a stream of blessings and synchronicities. I am living in a constant ceremony. The trees are hyper vivid. It sharpens the senses. My intuition is off the charts. I look at you and I see your soul, and I am experiencing life on a totally different reality. I feel that I've crossed into a different realm. And I was actually shown that in ayahuasca ceremony that this is one of the ways that I'm now serving, is my energy field has become so magnetized, amplified, that my state of being impacts others in a bigger way. And so I feel as if I have crossed into another realm. I hit a parked car, and a woman came out, thanked me for hitting her car, told me I don't owe her anything, and said, I'm just so glad it was you, and then gave me a gift. Amen. This is Kambo. This is what this medicine can do. It clears out the negativity, and then the mirror of your life becomes your higher self. It's amazing. It's amazing. It clears the illusion of separation. And we can clear that illusion of separation through the mind as well. And I feel that we can all be conduits for love, and that we can all harness our creative ability to create more love. And that one of the ways we can stay in that consciousness is through, I want to share, these have been taught to me from cannabis. Relentless optimism, using our creative power, our stories, our right speech. Relentless optimism. Unconditional mercy. Forgiveness, non-judgment. And to praise all that is. In doing so, we use our creative ability to bless all. So in that way, we are all serving. I'd love to take some questions.
I just wanted to speak to the room for a second to say I've done this about 25 times, and my back looks like a lion's belt. Amazing medicine, so thank you for what you do. When everybody raised their hands, or almost everybody that they've heard of this, I'd kind of like to see how many people have received Kambo. Pretty cool, thank you.
Thank you. I'd love to share, thank you for sharing that about pain. Yes, I'd love to share with you what I've witnessed in my clients. I have seen it take away chronic pain in the body. I have seen it go to places where someone has been injured and stimulate healing, and they're feeling it during the ceremony. It has its own intelligence. Kambo really is pure love. That's what I feel about it. It's pure love. It will give you whatever you need. It will bless you, and it will change your life. It will bring you synchronicities. It will bring you all good things. And I have seen it clear heartache for people. Someone came in who was so upset, obsessing about a relationship that had failed, not able to function after her Kambo treatment. Fine. I have seen people with PTSD receive 1 or 3 treatments. Fine afterwards. It is a miracle medicine. And those of us who sit to facilitate these medicines are acting to use our free will as catalysts to hold your intention with you. And so to also empower these medicines to do what they do. And that's another important way that we use our creative power, is to empower our divinity, is to empower the divinity within these plants and animal medicines that are coming to us as well. Okay, we have time for another question.
In the front row.
Hi, how is Kambo harvested from the frog?
Great question. How is Kambo harvested? Kambo is harvested through either massaging the frog, capturing and massaging the frog, or sometimes by scraping it off the frog's skin with a stick. Yeah, and then releasing the frog, so they're not killed.
Yeah, and I've also heard that I've heard a lot of different things about it, just because I think that the media likes to make it look kind of like a really extreme thing. And I've heard that you have to cut somebody's back and put it into the skin. How is it given?
You don't cut somebody. So the way Kambo is given, what it looks like, is using an incense stick or another kind of stick, and making very light superficial burns that take about a second to come onto your skin, and then applying the medicine to those burns, so it goes into your lymphatic system. It goes all around your body, your heart rate starts to increase, and then it purges out your organs and you throw up. And prior to this process, you drink a lot of water, so that's what's in your stomach, and then you purge that out with the water. Yeah. And the purging process looks different. Sometimes people cry, sometimes people vibrate, sometimes people barf, sometimes people poop. It comes out of you one way or another, but actually, I've been experiencing bliss states and no purging. I received it and I started going into bliss states during the treatment, and there was no throwing up, even though I was having quite a bit of medicine. And I also, I loved Joelle's talk just now, and I realized that I spent about a week in a samadhi state after Kambo as well. Yes.
How many times did you receive Kambo before you began to enter into these particular states?
How many times? About 50.
So you didn't start feeling these kinds of things until 50 Kambo experiences?
Yeah, I started to feel these things about after around 50 experiences, yes. And, you know, but each time it was guided, I want to say. I don't think one just has to do 50 and you get there. I think for each person, it's about a different path and a unique path, and it's just about listening and continuing to answer the call each time the call comes to do it. And sometimes that's an inner knowing. It doesn't always have to be an outer experience. But yeah, about 50. But it wasn't just spontaneous. I was also doing a lot of practices to get my mental body into alignment. There is no past. There is no future. There is no self. Tapping, lots of that. Lots of breathing into the heart with trees. At this point, I can't really do any more Kambo because on myself because it began to cause insomnia because I have so much spiritual energy running through me that grounding is now a challenge. And so now my medicine is breathing in the heart in front of trees. And when I do that, I'm feeling healed and I'm feeling awarenesses and I'm feeling my light body and all these great things. Now my medicine is trees and yoga for myself. Yeah. I am sharing this medicine tomorrow. If anybody would like to receive, you can come up and talk to me, and there will be an opportunity for that. You can also contact me through my website, which is greengoddessrising.com. And you can also email me, blossomsunfolding@gmail.com. Yeah, another question?
How do you feel about the 3 sessions within a moon cycle that some people talk about?
Yeah, so the question is, how do I feel about 3 cycles and 3 treatments in a moon cycle? I listened to that, and I have given many people 3 treatments in a row, 3 days in a row, 1 treatment per day. And I've increasingly found that many people find that's too intense because each treatment is so powerful, what gets put into it. I just feel that can be highly beneficial, but what I love to do is 1 treatment per week for people. So there's time to integrate. But I do think it depends on the practitioner, and it's all about resonance, because each of us is a living crystal. Every single person in this room is a living crystal. We're holding vibrations and frequencies within us. Receiving medicine is receiving an initiation from whoever gives it. And I think that ultimately the medicine is the medicine. The medicine is spirit, the medicine is within us. But there are, I think, energetic catalysts to it. And so I think each person and each situation is unique, and trying to navigate from the mind is always a challenge. I'm finding that more and more whenever I listen to my mind saying I should do, I have to do, this is the way to do it, gets me into trouble. When I listen to my heart, what resonates, it's always the right answer.